Welcome to War Bios, the podcast where we delve into the lives of history's most fascinating military leaders. I'm your host, General Biography. Today, we're going to explore the life of Belisarius, one of the most celebrated generals in Byzantine history. Born in the 6th century AD, Belisarius would go on to achieve greatness on the battlefields of North Africa, Italy, and the Middle East, earning a reputation as a brilliant strategist and courageous warrior. But before we dive into his remarkable achievements, let's take a closer look at the early life of Belisarius, the formative years that shaped him into the leader he would become. Belisarius was born around 500 AD in Germania, a region in modern-day Bulgaria, to a family of modest means. His father, likely a soldier or a farmer, played a significant role in shaping Belisarius's early interests and values. The young Belisarius grew up in a world where the Byzantine Empire was facing numerous challenges, from internal power struggles to external threats from neighboring tribes and empires. Despite these challenges, the Byzantines maintained a strong tradition of military excellence, and it was in this context that Belisarius developed his passion for the art of war. As a child, Belisarius would have been exposed to the stories of his father and other veteran soldiers, who regaled him with tales of battles fought and won. He would have heard about the great Byzantine generals, such as Julius Caesar and Trajan, who had expanded the empire's borders through their military conquests. These stories sparked a fire within Belisarius, inspiring him to learn more about the art of war and to one day follow in the footsteps of his heroes. Belisarius's education began at home, where he learned the basics of reading, writing, and arithmetic from his parents or a private tutor. As he grew older, he attended a local school where he received a traditional Roman education, studying the works of classical authors such as Homer, Virgil, and Cicero. This education provided him with a solid foundation in literature, philosophy, and rhetoric, essential skills for any aspiring leader. The curriculum also included training in physical disciplines, such as wrestling, boxing, and horsemanship, which would prepare him for the rigors of military life. The historical context of Belisarius's early years was marked by significant events that would shape his future. In 5118 AD, when Belisarius was around 18 years old, Emperor Justin I ascended to the throne, marking the beginning of a new era in Byzantine history. This period saw a resurgence of military activity, as the Byzantines sought to expand their territories and secure their borders against the threats of neighboring tribes and empires. The empire's capital, Constantinople, was a bustling metropolis, filled with merchants, soldiers, and scholars from all corners of the known world. As Belisarius entered his teenage years, he began to develop a passion for military affairs, inspired perhaps by the stories of his father or other veteran soldiers. He spent countless hours studying the campaigns of famous generals, analyzing their strategies and tactics, and learning from their successes and failures. This fascination with the art of war would drive him to seek out new challenges and opportunities, ultimately leading him to the battlefields where he would make his name. The early life of Belisarius was marked by a series of formative experiences that would shape his future as a commander. His exposure to the cultural melting pot of Germania, his traditional Roman education, and his growing interest in military affairs all contributed to the development of a unique perspective and skill set. As we pick up the story of Belisarius's military career, it's essential to understand the context in which he rose to prominence. The Byzantine Empire, under the rule of Emperor Justinian I, was engaged in a series of ambitious campaigns aimed at reclaiming lost territories and expanding its borders. It was against this backdrop that Belisarius would make his mark, leveraging his unique blend of tactical acumen, courage, and leadership skills to achieve a string of remarkable victories. One of Belisarius's earliest successes came during the Byzantine campaign in North Africa, where he played a key role in the reconquest of the Vandal kingdom. The Vandals, a Germanic tribe that had established themselves in modern-day Tunisia, had long been a thorn in the side of the Byzantines, launching repeated raids and disrupting trade routes. In 533 AD, Emperor Justinian I appointed Belisarius as the commander of a Byzantine expeditionary force tasked with defeating the Vandals and reclaiming the region for the empire. Belisarius's campaign in North Africa was marked by a series of bold maneuvers and clever tactical decisions. He landed his forces at Kaput Vada, near modern-day Cheba, and quickly set about securing key strongpoints and disrupting Vandal supply lines. The decisive battle took place at Ad Decimum, where Belisarius employed a clever combination of cavalry and infantry to outmaneuver the Vandals and secure a crushing victory. The Vandal king Gelimer was eventually captured, and the kingdom was absorbed into the Byzantine Empire. The success of the North African campaign catapulted Belisarius to prominence within the Byzantine military establishment. He was hailed as a hero by his troops and praised by Emperor Justinian I for his strategic genius and bravery. However, it was his subsequent campaigns in Italy that would truly cement his reputation as one of the greatest generals of all time. In 535 AD, Belisarius was appointed as the commander of a Byzantine expeditionary force tasked with conquering the Ostrogothic kingdom, which had established itself in modern-day Italy. The campaign was marked by a series of grueling sieges and battles, as Belisarius sought to outmaneuver the Ostrogoths and secure key strongpoints. One of the most notable battles took place at Rome, where Belisarius employed a clever combination of diplomacy and force to persuade the city's defenders to surrender. The Italian campaign was not without its challenges, however. Belisarius faced stiff resistance from the Ostrogoths, who were determined to defend their kingdom against the Byzantine invaders. He also had to contend with the complexities of Italian politics, where various factions and interests vied for power and influence. Despite these obstacles, Belisarius persevered, leveraging his leadership skills and tactical acumen to secure a series of crucial victories. As we follow Belisarius through his military campaigns, it's essential to remember that he was more than just a skilled general. He was also a complex and multifaceted individual with his own strengths, weaknesses, and motivations. He was known for his unwavering dedication to duty, his unshakable confidence in the face of adversity, and his deep commitment to the Byzantine Empire and its people. As Belisarius continued to serve the Byzantine Empire, he faced increasing challenges and complexities. Despite his many victories, he struggled to maintain the trust and confidence of Emperor Justinian I, who grew increasingly paranoid and suspicious of his most successful general. In 542 AD, Belisarius was recalled from Italy and appointed as the commander of a new campaign against the Persians in the east. However, the campaign was marked by a series of setbacks and disappointments, including a devastating outbreak of plague that swept through the Byzantine army. Despite these challenges, Belisarius persevered, leveraging his leadership skills and tactical acumen to secure a series of crucial victories against the Persians. However, his successes were short-lived, as he soon found himself facing opposition from within the Byzantine court. Emperor Justinian I, who had grown increasingly jealous of Belisarius's fame and popularity, began to plot against him, seeking to undermine his authority and reputation. In 548 AD, Belisarius was accused of treason and recalled to Constantinople, where he was put on trial and eventually acquitted. However, the experience left him shaken and disillusioned, and he began to withdraw from public life. He spent the remainder of his days in quiet retirement, devoting himself to his family and his faith. As we reflect on the life of Belisarius, it's clear that he was a complex and multifaceted individual, driven by a deep sense of duty, honor, and loyalty. Despite his many triumphs and achievements, he faced numerous challenges and setbacks, including the jealousy and suspicion of those around him. Yet, through it all, he remained steadfast and true to himself, earning the admiration and respect of his contemporaries and the enduring legacy of one of history's greatest generals. As we consider the lessons that can be drawn from Belisarius's remarkable career, we're reminded of the importance of perseverance, adaptability, and leadership. We see how a single individual can shape the course of history through their actions and decisions, and how even the greatest achievements can be fleeting and ephemeral. And we're left to ponder the what-ifs of history, wondering how the world might have been different if Belisarius had continued to enjoy the favor and support of Emperor Justinian I. In conclusion, the life of Belisarius serves as a powerful reminder of the complexities and nuances of human experience. It shows us that even the greatest heroes are flawed and vulnerable, and that success is often fleeting and ephemeral. As we close this chapter on the life of Belisarius, we're left with a sense of awe and reverence for this remarkable individual, who continues to inspire and fascinate us to this day. Fortune favors the brave, Belisarius once said, but also demands sacrifice. These words capture the essence of his remarkable career, which was marked by both triumph and tragedy. As we bid farewell to this extraordinary general, we're reminded that true greatness is not just about achieving success, but also about enduring failure and overcoming adversity. And it's this legacy that continues to inspire us today, as we strive to emulate the courage, resilience, and leadership of one of history's greatest heroes. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the life of Belisarius. That's all for today's War Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm General Biography, reminding you to keep marching toward victory.